Hi everybody, this is Barry Schwartz from the Search Engine Roundtable. This is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, May 6th, and we have a lot of stuff to discuss. I'll go as quickly as possible because it's been a long week, and I know you guys want to get to the weekend. Alright, so first thing is the May 2011 Google Webmaster Report. Basically, we posted this on May 3rd. It basically summarizes the past month or so of events related to Webmaster and Google for the webmasters. And the discussion in this webmaster role thread was there's lots of fluctuations in early May with Google search results. The Google cache seems to be some weirdness. Nobody really explained exactly what. Many pages of sites are being indexed, but they're not ranking well. Finally, some people are calling it early May that there was some type of Panda 3.0. Obviously, there was a 2.0 update in April. But in early May, people are saying there was a 3.0, maybe 2.1 type of update. And we summarized the main things that happened over the past month. If you want links to that and a quick recap of what happened over at Google for webmasters over the past month or so, you definitely want to check out this post at SEOroundtable.com on May 3rd. There was an interesting radio interview at NPR with Google as well, with Google's Matt Cutts as well as some webmaster. This webmaster actually has been getting a lot of attention. He's from I think One Way Furniture or something like that.com. Anyway, he's been written up in the Wall Street Journal. He's been written up now at NPR and some other places. So he's been getting a lot of traction in terms of how he was hit by this Panda update. And in this interview, Matt Cutts said something interesting. He said, when he was asked about why Google's doing this, he said, think about something like an Apple product. When you buy an Apple product, you open it up, the box is beautiful, the packaging is beautiful, the entire experience is really wonderful. That's what he said. And this interviewer pretty much summed it up as saying, Google wants the web to look like a brand new Apple iPhone. He wants every entrepreneur to think as hard of the look of their website as hard as they do about their services they provide to their customers. So that's what Google wants, or Matt Cutts wants. He wants the web to look as nice as Apple packaging. We have more information about this with a link to the actual interview on May 5th at SEOroundtable.com. Hi. Thanks for watching live. Appreciate it. Next topic is related to Panda as well. We may have caught a Googler snapping, getting a bit short and angry with a webmaster over the Panda update. Googler Asaf first went ahead and replied to somebody about a Webmaster Tools bug where the link reports were somewhat wrong. He replied to that, and then the person's like, well, this has to mean that this is related to Panda, and since the links reports are wrong, maybe Google's Panda is wrong, and stuff like that. He went on and on to give this Googler a hard time about why am I impacted by Panda? Is it related to this link report bug? And Googler said, after a bunch of responses, said in short, I will not discuss recent ranking changes. We have created a thread for that. We are aware of the issue people are seeing in their link counts and are working on this. We appreciate you reporting these issues to us, but please don't make the assumption about how they impact rankings. To me, that's a Googler being short and a little bit snappy. Again, maybe I'm looking into it a bit too much, and it's a very stressful time for Googlers who are involved in web search and web quality, search quality. And also a very stressful time for those who were impacted by Panda. So I can understand both sides. Maybe I'm just looking into too much. Again, May 4th at SEOroundtable.com. All right, moving on to the next topic is something new that I learned that apparently wasn't so new, but for a lot of people it was. If you hyperlink your headlines, the header H1 tags, that is the headline for your articles, and you're on Google News might have an issue indexing that article. This is something that dates back to when Google News was actually created. But Harvey, again, announced that I didn't know this was ever a thing out there because a lot of news sites use or hyperlink their headlines. But Harvey basically said our systems often struggle to crawl pages with hyperlinked headlines. If you remove the hyperlinks from the headlines on individual article pages, we may be able to crawl more of your content in general. So basically, I didn't know this was actually documented before, but if you do have a site that's including Google News and you want better indexing of your content, remove the hyperlink, maybe include it in your breadcrumb trail instead. Moving on, this is a funny little SEO tidbit. Marquees. I don't know if you remember what these things are. Marquees are basically a a way to have HTML on your page scroll left to right, up and down. It's like one of these 1999, 90s HTML tricks that was very popular back in the 90s. It's kind of cheesy now if you see it scrolling text on the page and stuff like that. It's called an HTML marquee. Google basically said, I don't recommend using marquees in your web page because you want to make sure your users get all the content as possible. I don't know if Google has a hard time indexing the content, but basically John Moo basically suggested that Google won't index it as well, or realize how nice it is or whatever it might be. He said, one other thing you may want to look into removing are the marquees on your pages. To users, they show only a very limited amount of information. To search engine, it looks like you're using them to stuff in as many related keywords as possible. So again, then he gave an example of where this person is actually stuffing the keywords. So again, marquees limit it, but it's fairly funny to see something like that. Next, link building bargaining chips. We did a post about what you could use as bargaining chips to get people to link to you one way. Not to do link exchanges, not to pay for links, but to get people to actually feel influenced and encouraged to actually link to you. So we have a list of some of the ideas people gave out on the thread, such as I'll give you a referral link, I'll give you exclusivity in the area of referrals, stuff like that. If your site's broken, here's how to fix stuff. These different phrases you might want to use when you're trying to get people to actually link to you one way. And then we have some more comments at the Webmaster World about this idea. Next is Google has AdWords is going to start enforcing a new policy on AdWords. It's basically to require merchants who actually are selling stuff, asking for personal information or credit card, to require valid SSL when during the checkout or collection or collecting personal private information. Also, a method to discontinue direct communication, an opt-out feature, and well as basically a privacy policy listing all these things in clear English so people can actually figure it out. These three new requirements are going to affect May 17th, which is about 11 days from now. Again, I'm not sure how they're going to force this fully, but it will be interesting to see if they do, and will this actually make an impact on removing some spammers and some low-class AdWords advertisers? Maybe. A lot of people are not convinced. Speaking about SSL and the requirements, Bing actually has a shopping requirement for Bing merchant shopping that you actually have to have a valid SSL certificate in order to be included in Google Shopping. I like that feature. I don't know if Google Merchant Center has it, but I know Bing Shopping has it. And in order to be included, you have to have a valid SSL encryption for your checkout process, which is nice to have. Talking about merchant stuff, Google Product Search, which is obviously Google Merchant Search, is now requiring Google merchants to submit along with their product data a unique identifier. A lot of merchants are upset by this because a lot of the products don't have unique identifiers, so they have to make it up. In any event, it's a requirement. As of midnight, May 3rd, it started to go into effect. But Google said they're not going to go ahead and fully enforce it until June 20th. So you might be a Google merchant and not have unique identifiers and still be okay. But by June 20th, if you don't have them, you will be no longer be allowed to submit your data feeds, and they won't be included in Google Shopping. Next up is AdSense. AdSense is now, I believe this is a new feature where basically if you mouse over an ad, you keep a text ad, a Google AdSense text ad, Google will then show a little tooltip, a little yellow thing that comes up in the browser, basically showing you the URL of the advertiser. Here's a screenshot of it. I don't know if you can see that on my screen, a little over here. When you mouse over a text ad now, Google will show you a little tooltip which shows you the URL of the advertiser. This comes in handy for allowing publishers to find out the URL of an advertiser on their website and then blocking that URL if they don't want them to show up. Obviously, Google doesn't want publishers clicking on their own ads, so this gives an easier way for publishers to go ahead and discover the URL so they can actually block it. Next is Google Voice Search. It seems like Google's testing a form of voice search on desktop. So basically, if you go to google.com, you might see if Google detects that your browser supports the voice search thing, they might say a little microphone on the right-hand side. I'm showing a screenshot to you where basically it says Speak Now. You click on it, it says Speak Now. You can talk into it, and it'll actually use Google Voice Search technology to do a voice search command. It's pretty neat. Again, I don't see it, but people are saying they're seeing it. This is available on like mobile devices as well, but not yet on Google.com, which seems to be being tested. Google Analytics added a new report for people if they want to know their site speed or page speed. Google allows you now to add a little snippet of code to your Google Analytics tracking code, and it'll automatically add that to your new Google Analytics reports, which basically has a new report under content site speed, which shows you the site speed on average of users. We have posted about this on May 6th at SEOroundtable.com. Blackberry is now the default. Bing is now the default search and map app on BlackBerry devices. So if you own a BlackBerry, as of I guess this week, Steve Ballmer, CEO at BlackBerry World, announced that the default search embedded directly into the OS of BlackBerry will be Bing Search as well as Bing Maps. And I'm not sure what it means by being embedded in the OS, but I guess it'll run faster and smoother than a normal app. We have more information about this on May 4th at SEOroundtable.com. Finally, we have some logos to discuss. Yesterday was Cinco de Mayo. And as in typical Google fashion, Google did not have a logo, but Yahoo had a really nice animated logo. It dances around the screen, has a really nice thing going on. Bing had a nice theme as well. Dogpile had a great theme as well. Ask.com had a little question going on there. And as you see, Google and Google Mexico, which is more celebrated in Google in USA than in Google Mexico, did not really have much. And finally, Google had a logo on Sunday for the 160th anniversary of the first World Fair. Here's the logo. It is actually interactive. You could actually take your mouse pointer over the little Google logo and actually amplify and magnify the little area. Okay, so that pretty much recaps the Search Buzz video recap, the past news, search news over at the Search Roundtable over the past week. Today is again Friday, May 6th. Everyone have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next week. Everyone, thanks again for listening. Bye.